everybody, welcome back to another episode of RST Success Stories. I have my buddy Andy sitting here, and he's going to tell you what he thinks. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Like I said, I got my buddy Andy here, and I got to tell you, if anybody has a success story, it's him. He came to this company almost on the balls of his feet, broke.
Yep.
Like, super broke. Like, hey, I'm on my last dime, broke. And you got a family, home, and all that stuff. And hey, I've been there. I've done that. We've all been there and done that. But I want you to showcase your going from broke to where you are now. Because where you are now, I'm super proud of you. I'm super excited for what you got going on.
Thank you.
And your story is just another reason why, you know, I'm not gonna just, people are gonna be like, oh, but I'm gonna say it. This is just another reason why you need to come to this company and work with us. Okay, take it away.
Where do I start?
How long have you been here?
I've been here since March or April. I can't even remember the exact date.
Of this year.
Of this year. Like he said, I came. I was at a company that I don't want to put the name out there. It's a big company like UPS, FedEx, and they promised me the world, not just their recruiters.
Well,
but
how long? Let's back up a little bit. How long have you been driving?
6 years.
6 years experience, and you've been just striking out with companies and.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I started off at Swift. I went there just because it was close to my house.
Training and all that.
The training was super short. I didn't have to be on the trainer's truck for long. After I hit my year with Swift, I didn't owe them anything for the school. I went over to Landstar. I did Landstar for a year and a half. That's when 2018, when the trucking industry took a huge dump and nobody was making any money. Ended up getting out of my lease that I had when I was at Landstar, left Landstar, went local. Local didn't work out at all. Like I went for like 4 different local companies, and it was this one SHIT show after another.
You can say it. Just say shit show.
Shit show after another. And then I went to a big company, like FedEx, UPS place.
Yeah.
And they promised me the world, not just the recruiter, but even when I was in orientation. And they made it seem like this was going to be the spot that I was going to retire from. They promised me that I'd be home every weekend to do 34-hour resets, that I would only do Western 11, and that I was still going to take home $2,000 plus a week. And it was all a lie. I stayed there 6 months, just getting raped left and right. Got stranded in Ohio, got stranded in Idaho, and it was it was terrible. I made no money.
Enough of that. What about so you've been here since March. I remember when we brought you on, and I remember the whole story with who I'm not going to name. I'm not going to say his name. Never mind. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, tell me your experience so far, because I know. I want you to tell them.
Since day one, like Chris picked me up from the airport. I didn't have to get an Uber, and he picked me up in his Tesla, which I'd never even been in a Tesla before, so that was already cool. Put me up in a hotel room, super nice hotel room at that. Orientation was a day, and I was already out making money. The same day I did orientation here, I went and grabbed an empty trailer and was already making money.
Yeah, our orientation process, especially if you can get your drug test done before you come out, which we try to do with a lot of people. If you get your drug test done prior to coming to orientation, then your physical orientation process is really nothing more than a couple of hours, if you know, to get the information needed. But yeah, so you got through your orientation, you got to work. I mean, what do you think?
I love it. I've been on the Prime fleet since I got here. I haven't tried any other companies, but I'm sure they're just as good. I haven't had a single issue, luckily. I've had a couple of breakdowns, but me being a mechanic...
Explain the breakdowns.
Me being a mechanic, I know how to fix most of the stuff myself. I keep tools on the truck. I call Chris, and Chris is like, if you can fix it, fix it. And Prime, if it's with their trailer, they'll reimburse you if you fix it yourself. You just have to provide them receipts for any parts that you replace.
Yep.
but I've been running. Like
I want to showcase and talk more about your success as far as finances.
I went from $400 in the bank and not having enough for rent when I got here to within the first month of being here, all my bills caught up, money in the savings. I think the second month I was here, I took my family to Hawaii. We went to Hawaii for a week. I've already ordered a brand new truck. Like my savings account's bigger now in the short time that I've been here than the whole year and a half that I was at Landstar. There's a lot of money to be made here. You just got to be willing to work, and you don't have to work your bones off.
Exactly.
Like you can work at your own pace and still make really good money. I'm a runner. I like to run, so
that's what it takes to make the money. Now, I mean, when he says run, because he drives just like I drives just like Larry drives, you know. But we're not talking about burning up your clock. Mm-hmm. We're talking about being able to have recaps and mm-hmm. continue to use those recaps and run your clock smartly enough to have the recaps. Mm-hmm. But you have to have that mentality: keep running, keep running, keep running, mm-hmm. keep running, keep moving, and that's like everybody's heard my success story with this company. Yours is even more powerful because you went from broke mm-hmm. to on top pretty much in such a short it's only July.
Yeah.
You know,
like 5 months.
Chris called me up the other day. He's the owner of our company, and he said, "Yeah, Andy just ordered a new Peterbilt." I'm like, "What? How?" And we looked at your numbers, and we looked at and I was like, "Holy cow!" I was very impressed, and I'm proud of you. I really am.
Thank you.
You know, and I'm glad that it just kind of cements what I say mm-hmm. when I do these videos and I talk about our company. Because I really don't even do recruiting videos anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't have to because our company speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But there are certain situations where I'm going to start doing these more often where success stories. We're going to call them what they are with the title. RST Success Stories with Andy, mm-hmm. with Larry. That was the previous video that we just did. If you missed that video, we did one of these videos with Trucker Jukebox. Go and check it out. I'll leave the link in the description box. But anyway, you literally went from broke to ordering a truck, going to Hawaii with your family, mm-hmm. and still having money in the bank.
Yep.
I did pretty much the same thing last year during the start of the pandemic. Came back to this company in January, made enough money from January, worked my ass off up until the end of May when I bought my house. I bought a house and a brand new $65,000 car. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, I traded 2 cars in that I still owed money on, but I still have enough money to make that big payment and the house mm-hmm. and the taxes and the.
Yep.
For instance, my wife doesn't work. She's home with the kids.
Mine works 3 days a week.
Pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
So.
And that's just because she likes to work and doesn't want to be stuck at home.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, I told my wife, do whatever you want to do. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you run the truck the right way, and I always tell the drivers this when they come on over and want to be successful here, I say, if you follow the advice that I give you, you'll be successful. And you've been following that advice.
Yep.
And, even Chris told me, he's like, yeah, he's going to Hawaii. I'm like, what? He just bought a new truck. What? Because you're doing it even faster than I did. Yeah. So you're outdoing me when it comes to
trying.
Well, no, I encourage it because I had to learn fast, because I was always a company driver. And when I first came here and started actually leasing and learning to lease, mm-hmm. I would ask Dylan, which is our dispatcher, hey man, can I get some more miles? Can I get some more miles? And he would always tell me, hey, it's not about miles, it's about revenue. I'm like, yeah, but this load really sucks, dude. This load is terrible. He's like, listen, I'm giving you this load so we can get you to a better area. Yeah. And I would have to learn the trick. So basically, in a nutshell, it's not about miles. It's not about any one load. It's about the weekly revenue. Yeah. Because right now, freight is hot. Yeah. We're getting our fleet average right now for the entire 46 or 7 trucks that we have here. Fleet average is $2 to $2.25 a mile average. That's really good.
My last week's average was almost $4 a mile.
Your average?
Yes.
Yeah, well, if we combine all the trucks together, mm-hmm. we're sitting at $2.25 a mile mm-hmm. almost, which is a good average.
Oh, yeah.
I remember back in 2018, mm-hmm. We'd be lucky if we were hitting 150.
Yep.
You know, and that's with Prime. Prime is the biggest refrigerated company in North America, and you know we have 5 other companies that we pull for. We pull for Prime, Power Only, Wilson Logistics, Carlisle, which goes to Alaska, Amazon, and Uber Freight, and our Tour Express. That's 6 different platforms that we have the ability to work from. So, you know, I always tell drivers, just look, hey, you know, if it isn't working out at Prime, you know, we'll figure we can move you to a different playing field, so to speak. You know, so, but right now Prime is our bread and butter, and this is a clear-cut case that if you do what needs to be done, and you know, you're a young man, you're 36, you said, right? I'm 38, and I tell my wife, I tell my kids, you know, we're in the sacrifice stages of our lives, and if you put in the effort now and sacrifice, like I'm about to go on vacation too.
I got a baby on the way in September. I'm going to be off for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, see, so you know, if you play hard, if you work hard, you can play hard over here. And you know, his story is so powerful because he's done it in such a short, unimaginable period of time, like 3-4 months. He's went from literally broke. I remember you called me up and we were getting ready, like, hey, because we were waiting on, you know, the insurance and everything. We were waiting on this. We were waiting on that drug test results. And like, hey man, I gotta get started. I gotta get started. And I was like, we were working as fast as we can. But we got him in, we got him started, and here we are, almost 5 months later, and you're killing it. You're killing it. But if you had to rank RST from 1 to 10, I'll be honest.
From all the companies I've worked for, like I said, I hopped around on the local thing for a while. I would say 9, 10 for sure.
What are some of the gripes?
The only gripe, and it's if you watch Larry's video, my only gripe is with the Prime side. I have no gripes with RST whatsoever.
Okay.
Every time I've had a question for Chris or Matt, they've gotten right back to me. I think I texted you at like 2 in the morning about I couldn't get into the door at Prime.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even expecting a call back, let alone a text, and you called me within minutes.
Larry can attest that too. Because
same with Chris.
I'm the same way. Like, I don't care if, like, I always tell people, if it's middle of the night, text me first. But if it's daytime, call me, because I don't like to run nights usually. But I always get back to my drivers.
Yeah.
You know, I want to make sure that you guys are being just as successful as I am. And because I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to be on the balls of your feet fucking waiting for the next paycheck, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, your story is moving because you've done it in such a short period of time. So, what other gripes? You don't have any other gripes for real? Nothing?
Yeah, the only gripe that I have, and is kind of with myself, not even with the company, is it's too much freedom. Like, I feel like I can do whatever I want and get away with it.
Yeah. You know, like, one of our new drivers had said that the other day. He's like, yeah, there's this. I'm about to go home, and I didn't have to beg to go home. You know. I
text Chris out of courtesy, and I tell him when I'm going home, and he tells me all the time, like, you don't have to tell me when you're going home. But I'm so used to having someone hovering over me that it feels wrong to just go home. Like,
yeah, like I told you, I was like, if you have your bills paid, everything's good, go home.
Yeah, and I've been out here 5 months. I've gone home 3 times. I went to Hawaii for a week. I'm already going to take 2 weeks off in the beginning of September, and I'm not going to be broke. Like, I'm not going to come back from my home time owing a bunch of money. Like,
yeah. See, so, you know, and like to touch on that, you know, for our drivers to stay in the green, so to speak, you know, and this is one thing that we left out of Larry's video, and you know, I can tell you that if you're ever in a jam and something happens where the truck needs money and you don't have it, Chris, and you know this, Chris will take care of you. Chris will be like, hey, you know, we'll work out a payment plan, we'll work something out. And I know that I've been there. I know that Larry's there right now. I know that you almost got there, you know. But Chris is our company. We're not just going to be like, well, pay the bill. Well, I don't have it. Well, tough.
Yeah.
We're not like that, you know. That's one thing that we also do as well that we left out of the other video, but and that we should have showcased a little bit better. But we have that family mentality over here, you know, and I like to pride that because it's a huge deal.
Oh, it is.
You know?
For sure.
And like I said, you being able to come out of the hole that you were in, because like I said, I know what it feels like to be broke. It's scary.
Yeah.
When you have a wife and kids, and bills to pay,
Yep.
it's nerve-wracking. But tell me how you feel now, though.
I have no stress whatsoever.
It's nice. Hey, like for instance, like some of our new drivers are calling me up, hey man, it's loaded, man. I'm sitting here for 24 hours waiting on this thing to get loaded. Oh man, I got all these. So what?
Yeah.
You're going to get detention. You're going to get the layover.
Yep.
Relax.
Yeah, I had layover. Like, I'm not used to getting layover. Like at Swift, you got like $20, $30, whatever. I got a paycheck, and I always calculate out my paychecks before I get them. And so I was expecting, X amount of money. I had $1,000 extra on that paycheck from just layover.
Oh, I know it.
And it was like getting free money.
No, that's one thing as well. We take care of here. If you mark down on your bills the detention, the time in and out, you're going to get that detention after 2 hours being there. If you're there anything more than 24 hours, it's automatic layover for 24 hours. Now, depending on the amount of the revenue on that load will dictate the amount of layover you're going to get. I've seen $600 one time. I've seen $1,000. Same thing.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that we do over here as well. But just some of the things that this man's been through in such a short period of time, and that he's already back on his feet and he's comfortable and not stressing, is one of the biggest things. But I want to thank you. I'm proud of you, bro. And I only wish you more success.
Yeah.
But this is my buddy Andy. Another success story here at RST. If you want more information, there's information in the description box how to get a hold of me if you want to know more. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye. Later.